Hey, it's Terry Hale, commercial real estate trainer and wealth builder with another segment of Wisdom for Wealth. I'm excited to have you here. Of course, now's the time. You understand that there is just an abundance of opportunity in this marketplace currently. I'm real excited to share these things with you, and the topic here is going to be seller financing. Now, when it comes to seller financing, just for the basics, it's nothing more than when the seller creates a note either above the existing debt, or if they have no debt on the property whatsoever, they create a seller finance note for you. There's some things that go along with seller financing, and I know that brokers have their reservations if you actually have capital to close because you're asking about seller financing. The fact of the matter is leverage. The key to success in business is always to leverage. A lot of banks nowadays, because liquidity's dried up, banks will ask you not only to personally sign, but a lot of times to cross-collateralize. They want you to leverage your property to lower their risk. Well, with seller financing, we always go after something called non-recourse notes. It's a seller-financed non-recourse note, which means that you do not personally sign. So your credit is absolutely irrelevant. Now, because of these large spreads due to the upside, it's actually a lot easier to bring in capital, which we call bridge capital, into these projects once we negotiate seller financing in terms. But with seller financing, obviously the longer the loan, the better. We don't want to get into a project where it's a short fuse, where the loan is going to balloon, say, in 12 months or 6 months. Typically, these projects will sit anywhere between 24 to 60 months. That's 2 to 5 years on any given seller finance negotiation. So the longer the term, the better. Well, let me go ahead and share something with you here, which I want to call my escalation of interest clause. Well, obviously, if someone's going to be carrying paper, they want to make money. They want to get a good return on their seller finance note. So where prime interest rate sits today is very low. So it's attractive rate. We meet that rate on a seller finance note, say for the first year. So if we were to get in at either 4.5% to 5% on year one, that's very, very good interest rate. And then year two, what we'll do is jump it up maybe a point to 6%. Then year three, we'll jump it up another point to say 7%. And that's reason enough. This is incentivizing the actual owner to create a seller carry for us. And that's how we get these longer term seller financed notes. Now for this, of course, if you were to get the project turned around, our typical turnaround time is anywhere between 6 to 9 months. If you have a 5 or even a 7 or even a 10-year note, which we create quite often, my clients, you can ask for an early payoff. And that's a great way to get an additional discount on the project purchase price. There's something else that goes along with that. I'd say that this is the easiest way to acquire a property today. And sometimes, I'm going to say this again, sometimes you can also borrow against their property to buy their property. Now, let me share this technique with you, okay? If you're taking notes, now's a good time. What I call a subordination clause or a junior lien position clause. It's noted as a subordination. You create a seller finance note. The property must be owned free and clear to do this. So a free and clear property, meaning no debt at all whatsoever. You create a seller finance note. The seller finance note has a junior lien position, a subordination clause to it. This means that you can take out a new loan in first position against the property because the property has a seller finance note with a subordination clause. So this means with that new first loan you take out, all the proceeds that you take out on that first loan must solely go into the project or any part thereof, which means down payment, it means capital improvements, debt service, marketing, management. So all this capital that you can borrow against the actual owner's project, meaning the seller's project, it goes into the project itself. Sometimes you can borrow against their project to buy their project. Now, this is an advanced technique for building wealth, but I want to make sure that you get these tactics and these strategies, these tricks, because it's all about wisdom for wealth. So I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you get an opportunity, please make sure that you join terryhale.com. Sign up for my newsletter because I end up sending off some amazing techniques that I just won't share with you here on these videos. So you want to get all of the wisdom that you possibly can. Go to terryhale.com when you get a sec and go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. and come back and visit me here. And I look forward to speaking with you again here real soon. This is Terry Hale, Wisdom for Wealth. I look forward to speaking again real soon. Take care.